Hey everybody, Eric here with another YouTube video. Apologies for the unusual setup, and apologies for the late reviews. I've just been kind of busy lately, but regardless, today we'll be looking at something brand new. I've been waiting for this figure for a really long time. It is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Lunar Wolf Ranger from Power Rangers Wild Force. Before we talk about the figure, let's take a quick look at the figure's box. Here we are back with the box of the figure. Seriously, guys, apologize. My light busted, so I'm using my phone's flash. We'll be fixing that soon, though. Anyways, we got it right here: Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Wild Force Lunar Wolf Ranger. We got nice art right here. As you guys can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stripes. We'll be going into that later. Same photo, the wolf logo, and a photo of the figure on the back. Nothing too much different. Just been holding this out for a little bit. I had this for a while, actually. Just been holding out on you guys. Anyway, let's get back to the figure. So here we are back with the figure, and I just want to do a really quick overview before I go into the sculpt and the paintwork. This has to be one of the nicest releases in recent memory for me. Apart from the Turtle Rangers, which I do have. I have the whole set now minus Shredder. This has to be one of the nicest looking figures in a long time. Like I said, besides the Turtle Rangers. The helmet looks absolutely spot on. The colors are amazing. Custom pieces like these hands, which I'll go into later. It just does look. This is the pinnacle of what Power Rangers should be. Real quick before, like I said, get into that stuff. This thing does have QC issues, which I will touch on next or in a little bit later in the video. Anyway, let's real quick 360 before I get onto the meat of this review. Yep, there it is. Now let's get on to the sculpt and paintwork of this thing. Jumping right in with the sculpt of this thing, and it looks phenomenal. This helmet is so accurate to the TV show. Not only is this one of my favorite designs of all Power Rangers, the Wild Force, it just looks uncanny. Like, it looks insanely good on, in person. It looks a little bit more dark silver on video because of the flash, but it looks really clean. It looks super clean. It's sculpted very well. We got the visor here. We got the wolf teeth, the mouthpiece, everything, the ears, the whiskers on the side. It's sculpted really well, and the paint looks super clean on there. Not a blemish in sight. I would only say right here in the visor, a little bit of the white is missing. Doesn't really bother me. Either way, super clean design. For the rest of the paintwork, we do have a really, really nice wolf logo on here. Part of Wild Force. You can see a little bit better right there. We do have really nice gold going over this dark blue. These 4 stripes right here, and that band around his neck, around this collar piece right there. We do have these triangle blues going down the entire side of the body, mostly on his right side, but also some down on his left. We do have really nice sculpting in his belt right here. It does look like a wolf. And we can see he does have really, really nice gold all over the bands of his cuffs and his boots. Sorry guys, I had to cut off real quick. I had a little bit of interruption. But going back to what I was saying about the paint, there actually is some inconsistencies here, right? There's actually supposed to be, I believe, 5 stripes right here. And his boots are supposed to be silver, not gold. So I've seen people posting online that they've been getting their QC issues fixed. We're getting an entirely new figure from Hasbro. I'm not sure. I don't really care. I didn't even notice it until they pointed it out. Like I said, supposed to be silver down here and 5 stripes. I could care less. There's 5, there's 6 stripes, there's 3 stripes. I don't care. Actually, one more thing about the sculpt that kind of irks me, right? There is a lot of marbling in the silver. You guys can just see it's very apparent here. All over the arms. It does look really clean, but if there had been a nice silver paint over, I don't know, maybe a silver body, I don't know, it just would have been a little more cool, but, nothing too bad, nothing too much to worry about. Anyways, guys, let's move on to his articulation. So the basic articulation with any of these figures is as follows. Head goes up really, really nicely, goes down. We got a full 360. Arms go out on both sides. We got butterfly joints working all the way forward, all the way back. We got shoulder goes down, 360 on both sides. We got an upper arm swivel on both sides, double elbows. 360 hands that go forward and back on both sides. We got the ball jointed upper torso. We got a ab crunch back and forward, super deep. Ball or hip joints outwards, forwards, upper thigh, double knee, 360 at the boot. Foot goes up, down, and we got an ankle pivot. That was the articulation. Now let's get on to the accessories. Here we are back with the accessories, and we're going to take a look at this first and foremost. Probably the most important one is his alternate human head sculpt. This is in the likeness of Merrick, I believe, the Lunar Wolf Ranger. You guys can see here, it's not the most accurate, but, it looks enough to pass, right? We got some facial hair sculpting here, painted in pretty nicely. A little bit of a, didn't do enough paint right there, don't really care though. The eyes are painted nicely forward. You guys can see some wrinkles here. His lips, the hair sculpt is not too bad. Not a lot of paint variation aside from these highlights in his hair. Anyways, really easy and simple. You guys know the drill. Just pop the head off and it just pop on like so. Pretty tight, but it works. There you go. And it looks really proportional to the body. Not bad at all. It is super tight. You guys can hear that. But like I said, same thing. Doesn't hinder articulation at all. Full 360 up and down. So that was head. Let's get on to the rest of his accessories. Next up, probably my favorite accessory is these claws out hands for both sides. These are seen on the show. You really can't see them. You can see a little bit of the claws that are supposed to be on there right there. They're supposed to be painted gold, I believe, but these do appear in the TV show when they run on all fours. They're kind of like a slashing attack. They look really clean and help through a lot of poses. I just wish they had painted the nails, but this is a really cool and unique accessory, unique only to the Wild Force season. So that was this hands, and there are more hands. We also get the standard holding hands that come with every Power Rangers figure. Nothing too simple. These have already started to yellow a little bit actually. But we get the holding hands. And in the holding hands you can put in, I believe, his Lunar Wolf Saber in sword mode. This is more like rapier, like a stabbing weapon. But, looks pretty legit. Solid silver piece with a few paint details. You guys can see there the golden lion. The gold and the blue really do pretty nice on here. You guys can see that it's like segmented in a way. We got a little stabbing end down here. This is like a hand guard. Same thing on the other side. The wolf, pretty distinct on there. Got some ribbed pattern right here and gold on the end of it. It does fit in his hand really nicely. Just like so. Slide it into his hand. Fits there really good and it looks super clean with the figure. Like the usual accessories. And he also comes with the same weapon in gun mode. So this is the exact same weapon, just in gun mode. Like I said, shorter blade piece, and that hand guard is just extended out and turned around to become a like a trigger. Where you hold the gun. Same thing. Got a little scope right here. I'm assuming. Same amount of detail. The wolf symbol and the blue here. Same thing on the other side, and it does fit into his hand really nicely. It has a little bit of an overlap to put a trigger finger in it, and it does look really cool. You guys can see that. It does look pretty nice. And here it is comparing it to the actual sword. You guys can see that. Not too much difference at all. The exact same thing. Just a shorter barrel and the thing made shorter. The blade piece sucked in and becomes shorter. Anyway, guys, I think that was it for the accessories. Actually, it is it. Now let's get on to some size comparisons. I actually almost forgot to show this last accessory piece. Those energy effects, and it does have a little hole right here. You guys can see that. You just put that into the sword right here, like so. And that is an energy effect piece as seen on the official artwork for this figure. So yeah, now let's get into some comparisons. There he is compared to the standard McFarlane 7.5 inch figure, the Red Hood from Gotham Knights. Let me know if you guys want to see a video on that. You guys can see here, always shorter. Here he is next to Kamen Rider model kit, Kamen Rider Agito. You You guys can see here basically the exact same size. Now let's do one last comparison. Here's to my only other Wolf Hero and another Power Ranger Lightning collection. Power Ranger, SPD, Shadow Ranger. You guys can see just the difference in, I guess, height. He actually is taller, Shadow Ranger. And, you know, different generation, both wolves. Both look really, really cool together. You know, really love this. So let's get on to final thoughts.